15 ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. This time with a touch of electric elegance, getting fancy with a buzz. We are in the last day of August, August 31st, which means we're now entering the transitional period between the electricity of summer and the rustic refinement of fall. That's electric elegance in terms of timing. We start in the kitchen. This time we're cooking with TikTok's self-proclaimed Pasta Queen, the just gorgeous Nadia Caterina Munoz. You know me, I'm not into TikTok, but little by little I get swayed into exploring that platform even more. And this is yet another scrumptious stepping stone in that exploration. With co-author Katie Paola, Nadia offers over 100 recipes and stories the way only this real Italiano can.
Just gorgeous. It's the second line of the book. This book is a storytelling, starting from being born and raised in Rome, going to the south of Italy, and experiencing moving across to the UK and then eventually to America. All the life moments and recipes that follow the stages in my life have been included in this book. The first thank you goes to all of my followers. We've done this together. This has all of your favorite recipes and more, 100+ recipes and stories. And to go one step further, a lot of the recipes, the main amazing recipes, have a QR code. So not only you get a written recipe, but you get to follow and make the recipes with me. Stay gorgeous. You're amazing.
This Gallery Books publication was pretty hard to pick up. I'll tell you how I really got it as we go through our random picture walk. But from right now, let's take you to the recipe chapters. There are 6 of them, and they are as follows. Pasta Basics, where it all began, Be My Guest, Family First, Falling in Love with America, and a Pasta Renaissance. Preliminary chapters outlined here, those are the first few chapters, include My Story, where it all started, about these just gorgeous recipes, a guide to pasta shapes, pasta queenisms. Those are culinary terms only the pasta queen can tell you about, like Tears of the Gods, the starchy pasta water. Kitchen tools, ingredients, and the art of entertaining, which can definitely come in handy for Be My Guest and the Pasta Renaissance. In terms of the guide to pasta shapes, really, it's outlined here in the first couple of pages in this visual collage. The types of pasta you can find easily and not so easily, and of course pronounce easily and otherwise, like ditalì, spaghetti, rigatoni, perivagate, and linguine. And the ones worth seeking out and using Google Translate: alice giganti, mista corta, conchiglione, and candele lunghe. And by the way, I'm just roughing up all these pronunciations. Oh, and Pachieri too. Speaking of which, we're on to the ingredients guide. In the next few pages that follow in this chapter, Nadia outlines the freshest, highest quality ingredients you need to not only make perfect fresh pasta from scratch, and the equipment you need too, but also the highest quality produce you can find to make the recipes in here that put fresh pasta to good use, and dried pasta as well, which according to Nadia will work better for the majority of these recipes than fresh if you can help it. But really, I just wanted to outline this portrait of Nadia. The term just gorgeous so aptly applies to her, but you know what I would call her? And I hope I get this right. Alla Rabbiata. Alla Rabbiata. Hot? Yes. Spicy? Absolutely. I venture to say that she applies her signature teleromanza approach to storytelling in here. That is the Italian translation of soap opera. Hey, telenovela is in Spanish, so that really wouldn't apply here. But she is sexy, and I hope you can give her that. Alright. it's time to abbondanza properly, and we begin with a simple basic recipe for tortellini, which will make about 1 pound, 4 servings, total prep and cooking time, 90 minutes, and a couple of fillings to try out, ricotta and lemon zest or ricotta and nutmeg. And be on the lookout for these gorgeous tips here. These are preparation and presentation tips to streamline the process and make you feel just gorgeous in the preparation of these recipes as well as serving them. You know, Nadia's got a flair for the dramatic, and it doesn't just apply the storytelling. Continuing on, penne allo arrabbiata. Why is this the first proper pasta dish of the day? Well, no dish gets our blood pumping more than this, a sultry pasta dish known for its spice and heat. I love the way the hot chili pepper flirts with the acidic tomatoes in an intimate dance that is intensified by a flurry of chopped parsley. It jumpstarts my heart every single time. It's penne and spicy tomato sauce that will serve 4, and I have it on good judgment that the spicier the pasta dish that you present to the love of your life or the love of your life elect, well, the more, shall we say, revved up you two will be in the bedroom. Hey, try it, you never know. We're moving on to a safer bet for date night, even though this serves 4, so make it a double date night if you wish. This is risotto alla crema di scampi. Creamy risotto with langoustines. That's a special type of shrimp. Or if you're into Chef Ramsay, longustine. Just make sure you do this right and it's not raw or stone cold, especially when you consider Nadia's story. I like to think that my risotto alla crema di scampi was what convinced my husband, Brooke, a Brit, that I was going to be his wife for life. For me, risotto, a creamy rice dish that takes patience and love to make, is the ultimate romantic gesture. Risotto alla crema di scampi is the most romantic risotto of all. They kind of look like shiny little lobsters according to Nadia, but what they really are is your ticket to the promised land. The bedroom. And maybe far beyond that, the altar. Good luck. Moving on to pesto alla genovese. That serves 4 as well. It's pasta with basil and pine nut pesto in the style of Genova. It just so happens to be Nadia's all-time favorite family recipe in here, so I wanted to include that as well. Plus, I wanted to add some variety and not just highlight all the usual tomato sauce-based pasta recipes. In Genova, pesto is a religion. So, this is definitely one case where the pasta gods can be smiling in your favor if you nail it. Moving on to radiatori al forno. Italian mac and cheese bake, again serving 4. Mac and cheese might sound like a classic American dish, but some of the very first published pasta recipes in Italy are actually very similar. Before tomatoes came to dominate pasta sauces in the 19th century, cheese was one of the most common ingredients in pasta dishes. So according to Nadia, this feels authentically Italian. And here I am thinking that Thomas Jefferson brought it home from France. So where did we really get it? While you mull that over, I'll move on to this recipe. It's the cobbler's wife. It's pasta for 2 with fresh tomatoes and cheese. Appropriately, it serves 2, and it's definitely a lover's pasta. The ultimate expression of devotion. I could have highlighted recipes like puttanesca. There are 2 variations of that, traditional and vegetarian. And there's also some gluten-free pasta recipes in here, actually only 1. But I wanted to be slightly different today. As you heard Nadia said, her first acknowledgement is for her followers. And it's no different here. They've been on a journey together since March of 2020 and have shared each other's homes through wonderful pasta recipes. Thank you so much for becoming part of my family. Well, Nadia, mille grazie. Up until this point, I thought you were just some type of actress, masquerading as a pasta queen. But no. Through your TikTok and through this cookbook, I think you're the real deal. Heck, If you're not convinced along with me, then I'm going to leave both her TikTok and YouTube channels downstairs in the description if you want to see for yourself. Now, as for how I got this, well, you see the price tag here, $3.99 from Unique Thrift Store in Patterson. However, at the time when she published this, she was doing a book signing tour, and one of her first stops was a place here in New Jersey that you and I both know by now, Bookends. Oh yeah, that bookstore is near and dear to me. I was curious about the Pasta Queen and actually wanted to attend, but declined at the last minute. A couple of days later, I actually found this cookbook for $3.99. It was actually originally discounted at Barnes & Noble for 50% off its retail price. But in between, the next day when I went to Richmond after the book signing, just to relax, I bought this cookbook at retail price from Bookends. I then, however, traded it for a Food Network magazine pizza cookbook, which will give you a little tease of what's coming down the line in the future. Man, I just don't know how to behave myself when it comes to buying retail. Long story short, I own the pizza cookbook, and this was properly thrifted. Hey, Bookends is a great place to splurge, but thrift shopping will always come first. But considering the retail prices at $29.99 in the US and $39.99 in Canada, 50% off isn't actually half bad. Is it just gorgeous? Borderline. But when it comes to $4 versus $30 or $15, that is just gorgeously priced. The Pasta Queen's passion for cooking knows no bounds, and now she's ready to share her expertise with you. Immerse yourself in 100+ of Nadia's classic recipes, signature dishes, and secrets for making pasta that's truly magical, just like you are. I gotta say, home run. What's the Italian term for that? In any event, 5 out of 5 claps. Unless we're discussing the royal family, Queen is definitely one of the top 5 most hyperbolic words in the history of millennial/Gen Z slang. But if you can back it up with real recipes, real stories, with real care, and real spice, then Nadia, you are a queen. And this would definitely make a royally delicious addition to your coffee table. After all, who wouldn't want an abbondanza with the swankiest and spiciest of them all? Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.